Before we start the show, first, a word from our sponsor. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. Head to BetOnline today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here. So, folks, the sheriff charged in Judge's killing pleads not guilty in the same Kentucky courthouse where the fatal shooting unfolded. And this is according to CNN. A former Kentucky sheriff accused of killing a county judge in his chambers 2 months ago has pleaded not guilty to one count of murder of a public official. Today's arraignment was the first time defendant Sean Mickey Stines, 43 years old, was at the Letcher County Courthouse since State District Judge Kevin Mullins was shot to death in his chambers there. Stines, shackled and wearing a baggy dark gray jail uniform, did not speak or show any emotion during the hearing. The plea was entered for him by his defense attorney, Kerry Bartley. Stines, who was the only county sheriff when the alleged crime unfolded, has since resigned. His replacement, Billy Jones, was in the courtroom Monday, but did not speak as part of the proceedings. The indictment handed up Thursday by a grand jury does not shed any new light on a possible motive for the shooting. Stines could face the death penalty if convicted. Stines' preliminary hearing last month was held more than 100 miles from Letcher County because the courthouse was temporarily closed following Mullins' killing. Because of the close community ties of both the suspect and the victim, the case is being handled by a special prosecutor and a retired judge appointed by the state. The defendant shall not be admitted to bond at this time, State Judge Julia H. Adams said. Authorities responded to the Letcher County Courthouse on the afternoon of December 19th to find Mullins, 54 years old, had suffered gunshot wounds. Kentucky State Police said at the time, Stines surrendered to authorities at the scene. At last month's hearing, prosecutors played surveillance footage from Mullins' chambers that appeared to show the judge crouching behind his desk as a man identified as Stines shoots him multiple times. As Stines prepares to leave the room, he appears to see Mullins moving under his desk and fires several more shots. Defense attorneys did not deny Stines shot Mullins, but suggested he was in the midst of an extreme emotional disturbance, arguing a first-degree manslaughter charge would be more appropriate than murder. So that is what the defense is going to try to put forth. They're going to try to put forth a defense of manslaughter because obviously, how do you argue something when it's on screen, when it's actually caught on camera? So it's not the how. It's totally not the how. What it is in this case is the why. And that's what we're all waiting for. We're waiting for the why. Why did Sheriff Mickey Stines do this? And we hear allegations, we hear rumors, but no confirmation that it had something to do with the Judge Mullins' relationship with his underage 17-year-old daughter. Now, as upsetting as that would be to anyone to find out that a grown man perhaps is having a relationship with your underage daughter, killing him is not the solution. So the defense of Mickey Stines, of course, is trying to they realize they can't beat this case outright. They're not going to get him off. He's not going to walk free out of that courtroom. But if they can stop him from being convicted of murder second degree and maybe get a manslaughter first degree, then they've done their job. And under the statute of manslaughter is the subdivision of extreme emotional disturbance. So that's what they're going to argue. They're going to argue that he was in the throes of an extreme emotional disturbance, and that's why he shot the judge.
Dead. Video evidence from the trial shows former Letcher County Sheriff Sean Mickey Stines point his gun directly at District Judge Kevin Mullins. Mullins is seen on the ground with his hands up and turned away from Stines before the shots were fired. Stines has been charged with murder in the September 19th shooting of Mullins. The next step in the trial is for a grand jury to consider whether to indict Stines.
That is just the most powerful piece of evidence I think I've ever seen in my entire law enforcement career. And for anyone that watches that to think that there's any way on earth that Sheriff Stines is going to beat this case let's watch it one more time. And not only does he shoot him, but he comes around again almost to make sure that he's dead. He leans under the desk and points the gun at him again and fires.